One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferraro. So happy to be with you this morning in August, 8:15. And if you were awake bright and early this morning at 8:15, thank you to all of you who joined our fabulous yoga teacher, Natalia Zuckerman, for our first of many regular repeating Sundays, 8:15 yoga practice, union with body, spirit, mind, breath. Beautiful. So welcome back. If you had a chance to eat in between or take a nap, depending on where you are. I know some of the people joined us from California, which would have been 5 a.m. your time. Amazing. So thank you for joining us. And this morning, we're going to talk a little bit more about inner peace, which is why I mentioned yoga. You know, Mondays, we have meditation Mondays with that practice of inner peace, bringing forth that soul spark, that sometimes the spark that drives us, but also the thing that gives us peace. I see Jenny Peary. Excellent. Jenny, yoga is great. Yeah, it's this way of finding that still point within so that we can maintain perfect poise amidst great chaos, what could appear to be chaos. And so these things that we put forth with SoulCall, before we get into our actual physical locations for contemplation, meditation, and creativity, it's these things we can offer you of the wisdom to the wisdom experiences to find that inner peace and to bring it forth and to be that presence when things seem to be swirling out of control around us at times. It doesn't mean it's every single day, but how we respond with peace is our work. And so we offer these practices with a humble attitude of just, offering the things we found that help us to maintain our inner peace, which is in fact all we can do sometimes in the face of great shift. And so another way we like to begin our SoulCall Sundays, we're going to welcome Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz this morning to offer a practice of Qigong, which is working with the energy, the actual life force energy that is within and around us. I often say we look at fish and think the fish are swimming in water, and they look at us and say, look at those humans swimming in light. It is that essence of who we are, surrounded by the essence of who we are. And when we participate with the larger source of it, the force of it, we find that it is in fact within and without. And just directing our consciousness and our will, our volition, to take hold of these things that support us, to allow our bodies to vibrate to that inner joy, that energy to redirect, restart, our cosmic reboot, if you will. So join us in this practice of Qigong as offered this morning once again by Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz.
Hello everyone. We continue on with Rofu. Circling the lower dantian, the kidneys, SI joints, Ming-Mong area, opening everything up in order to increase our health and vitality. So please look forward from inside the mind's home, stretching out through yin tang to merge with infinite space. Gather all the healing, chi, love, good information, and pull it back through yin tang to the center of the head, and very gently close the eyes. With the eyes closed, we naturally begin to awaken our inner lighthouse, our essence, our inner essence. The entire body naturally relaxes. Please bring the hands up, the centers of each palm on top of the navel, and from inside, deep, 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 inside. We begin Rofu. moving the SI joints, kidneys, Mingmang forward, then circling around to the right, to the back, to the left, and forward, to the right, back, left, forward, circling inside, circling, spiraling inside this huge ball. Circling, spiraling. Inside. Opening huge, vast space inside. Why? The lower dantian connects with the physical body. So moving inside, opening this space, lower dantian, kidneys, SI joints, Mingmang, helps connect, open all energetic passageways. Increasing dopamine. Increasing well-being. Circling, spiraling. Then stop the movement. Hold this position, observing chi inside. Then relax the hands to both sides. Very gently open the eyes. Smiling from the inside out, give thanks and continue to play with chi.
And pranams to you, Deborah. I love when you and Helen do the qigong. It's just so pingy. I think that's a word I made up, but I think maybe we'll get rid of one of those other words. Natalia and I were talking about how they're getting rid of words in the dictionary and replacing them with other words. Maybe my word pingy will make it if we all start using it. Let's try it. So bringing this into balance and bringing this joy factor forward, this smiling from the inside and opening up at this moment, we call on the infinite divine beloved, the source of all creation, the source of all joy, the source of all love, of all peace and harmony, knowing that each one of us has a divine instrument to play, and it is named ourself. Calling forth that soul song from the almighty infinite presence, which dwells in every cell of our being and all that space within each cell and in between. May we play our divine role with an ever awakened heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide the bud of devotion which alone leads to thy blessed presence, O God. Open wide my heart and unleash the mighty force of cosmic love from my infinite being. Please enjoy Open Wide My Heart.
Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart.
Open wide my heart and unleash that inner peace. It sounds funny to say something like, I'm going to unleash my inner peace on you. What would that look like even? It might just come out as a wave of peace. I was this weekend, one of my nieces and one of my godchildren got married in Pittsburgh, and talking about unleashing peace, you can do that through your heart. You can do it through your eyes. You can do it through silence. I was talking with one of my nieces, and we got into a conversation about how much she's working for the various reasons that some people can't get back to work, or we didn't get into the details of that because we started to talk about it, and then we just paused for a minute and realized there would be an endless, we didn't really want to go there. We both understood it from different angles, and we didn't want to talk about all that. And we just stopped for a moment and just kind of had this moment where we locked eyes. And we were both filled with the same kind of appreciation for one another. It was instantaneous. It was silent. It was unleashing this inner peace and appreciation for each other without a word. And we both just smiled. And we were on to the next subject of, looks like they're going to be getting engaged, and I'm going to get to marry them. I'm going to get to do their ceremony. And it's just so exciting. And we were talking about more peaceful, beautiful things. And so sometimes this inner peace, how we cultivate inner peace, but then how we carry on with inner peace is a choice. Paramahansa Yogananda, who's my guru, I've been a Kriya Bond, a teacher of meditation under that technique for a number of years now, decades, and I'm spilling it into some of the things we practice with SoulCall Global and our Centers for Contemplation, Meditation, and Creativity. We talk about inner peace and bringing that forth. And Yogananda would say it's a choice. If you make up your mind to be sad or mad, there's no one in the world who can make you happy. But if you make up your mind to be happy and at peace, there is no one in the world who could take away that peace. Just like making up our mind to do anything, after we make up our mind to do the thing, we start to collect the tools that help us on that path. For example, if I made up my mind to drive to the grocery store, I take the roads that have been laid to get myself to the grocery store. Or if I make up my mind to take a trip to an area or a faraway land that I've never been to, I make up my mind, but then I do the necessary actions. I take the necessary actions to put forth the information I'll need along the journey to make sure I can get there. So just like making up our minds to achieve inner peace or to be at peace when things around us are swirly and uncertain, there are tools along the way. One of them is this beautiful offering we begun this morning at 8:15 a.m. with Natalia and yoga. Beautiful yoga practice. Tuning in with the body, with the breath, bringing that connection of all of it in alignment in these beautiful bodies that we get to inhabit planet Earth with. There's a reason we have bodies here, and we haven't done anything wrong to incarnate to planet Earth. It's a great experience if we allow it to be and participate with all the beauty we have to incorporate. So focusing on the things we want instead of the things we don't want will bring them to us a lot faster by the magnetic strength of our heart. That's one. Qigong is the other one. We're going to be doing a workshop, a free introduction into a class on Qigong. And Helen Yee and Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz are going to offer these. So that's coming up later in the fall into the winter months. We're going to be doing that inner journey in preparation for the new year. We're planning ahead, but be on the lookout for that class. And now also the thing we're offering right now is Meditation Mondays. It's another tool on every Monday night from 8 to 9 p.m. So I'm kind of riding on this wave of bliss after Self-Realization Fellowship's Convocation Week. I had the chance to participate with some of the meditations and the talks and the gentle reminders, hearters of why I'm here, why I'm here. For me, inner peace is brought about by introspection with the things that I'm doing every day in my life. And I found this, I've been on this Goethe kick recently, the German philosopher who was alive in the 18th century. And I think I might teach a class on this because it's just so many pearls that return me home, which is my inner. And it says, one of the quotes from Goethe is, the most happy human is one who knows how to bring into relation the end and the beginning of his, her, their life. I'll say that again. The most happy human is one who knows how to bring in relation the end and the beginning of his, her, their own life. What's that mean? It's that piece of recognizing that you're on the path that every step you take brings you into harmony with what is your divine calling, your soul's calling. And when we're on that path of living our soul's calling, it's a more peaceful scenery, inside. Knowing that you're doing what you came here to do, the beginning and the end, that little dash, people talk about the dash between the years of incarnation on planet Earth, born this day, died this day. That dash is that step-by-step cultivation of the inner peace that brings that perfect poise and presence of your soul's calling in every moment, Love of truth shows itself in this, that a man knows how to find the value and good in everything. So whatever comes our way, if we can live with that kind of trust, knowing that if it comes into our field, there's something in it for us. That's another way of practicing inner peace. And not to let it ruffle us, but to allow it to show us what it came here to show us. Like Rumi says, invite an unwanted guest in and ask it, what have you come to show me? And then send it away. You don't have to make a room for it. And I found it too, like to be around people who bring forth joy. And it's not the phony kind of joy where we're flitting from one thing to another, looking for joy. I remember in the 90s, people liked to go country line dancing. There was that. Then that whole group shifted. They shifted from softball, my friends, softball, to country line dancing, to golf, to this, to that. What if all through, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like having fun, but they made it their world. But introspecting on the things that are the lasting pearls, and bringing that into everything we do. Some are just getting around to that, and there's no beginning. There's no time associated with that, which is the beautiful part of it. If we come to it at any point in our lives, because the eternity can be experienced in one instant, and in one instant we can experience eternity. It doesn't matter about length of time. It just matters. What matters is how peaceful we are in the process. Inner peace. I remember many, many years ago now, this young lady is married with children of her own, but she was at a party. We were at a party of a friend's, a small child. He was like turning 4 years old, and a lot of his friends came over to the house to celebrate his 4th birthday. And at one point, this little girl ended up upstairs with a couple of the other kids, and they were jumping on the bed. Yeah, because that's fun to do. It's fun to jump on the beds. And the mom and the owner of the house went up into the bedroom and just announced to everybody, stop jumping on the beds. There is no jumping on the beds in this house. And, she bounced to a stillness, and she looked right at the host and said, I won't be back. Stepped off the bed and walked out of the room. It was hilarious. And I use that line. I can't tell you, like for the last 20 years, I've used that line just as a joke. It made me laugh so hard. The child won't be where you're not going to have fun. I won't be back. This is squashing my joy to a degree that is not acceptable. I won't be back. So where can you look at your life and introspect on, I won't be back. Not because it's easier than dealing with difficult people. I mean, we all have challenges with that in life. But again, it's like if we bring forth our shining, beautiful example of character and treat them with that same love and respect, chances are things shift. But at least you don't lose your peace. Yogananda would also say, if you let people get your goat, don't let people get your goat. Your goat is your peace. And I think about that often. Also at the wedding this past weekend, the prayer was to get the ceremony off. It was an outdoor wedding in my sister's backyard, and it was beautifully set. It was gorgeous. And the day was perfect. The ceremony went off really well. And right after I gave the blessing over the food, thunder, lightning, torrential downpour. And people were running into the tents and, all sorts of things. And the food is lined up over here. And my brother's at one end of the tent trying to tie together, and he's soaking wet. And I'm on the other side trying to tie this other side of the tent. It's blowing in, and I'm watching my niece and her husband, and they're just standing there helping, but glowing. They were just so peaceful in it. And watching all the people who were helping, they were helping to like pull their gifts off the table and all that kind of stuff. And we got the situation under control. Everything seems to calm down. People are moving through the lines to eat dinner. And then all of a sudden the lights go out. It's like, what in the world? And so the lights go out. DJ's music stops. So my sister asks me to try to find some other way of making the music. Like, can they use this speaker? And so there's a little bit more, I'll say, chaos transition into peace. But again, I look at all the people in motion around this loving couple who are amazing. Everyone loves and adores them. They're just two really super amazing, wonderful young people. And they're just standing there in perfect poise, receiving guests. Some people are going to eat food. Other people hadn't had a chance to say hello to them yet. As if they realized other things were moving. People had it. People got it, so that they didn't have to think about anything and everything was great. And I started to think about this in terms of inner peace. I said to them after, we talked Saturday, after the wedding, and I was saying, it's a testament to the people around us and to us and our inner peace when anybody could have a great time on a great day when everything goes perfectly well. But who can maintain their inner peace and poise when things erupt into chaos as they did? And to see how many support systems we have in place that we can count on to help us ride that storm and bring back to a calm. That's the testament. Who can still have a good time in the midst of all of that challenge? And everybody did. That party went on till 3:00 in the morning, dancing. I was not there that long, but that was the report. And then at 8:00 the next morning, they're coming to take down the tents and everything like that. But to maintain that poise and trust that the love you attracted to yourself can help you through these times of chaos. It's the inner peace that allows us to shine that light on what is working, what's going well in this moment, and what we can bring forth. There was always that underlying peace in the midst of, now what, It was great. And just of note, it's hilarious that my mother would like to point out that as soon as she started to do the twist on the dance floor, the lights came back on. So Never underestimate the power of the twist to affect extraordinary change. And the lights had been out for several hours. So there's that. But Yogananda says the peace of meditation is the language and embracing comfort of God. Therefore, God is present right on the throne of peace within. When you know God as peace within, then you will realize God as peace existing in the universal harmony of all things without. As within, so without. And Goethe says again, I have come to the frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element. It is my personal approach that creates the climate. I love that. I'm going to say it again. I have come to the frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element. It is my personal approach that creates the climate. It is my personal approach. So what do we take on the journey for our personal approach? We invite you to partake of the tools of yoga, qigong, meditation, creativity, and just contemplate. Go for long walks. Sometimes it's a bike ride. Sometimes it's your pet. Whatever brings that inner peace and that reflection on, this is the beginning of my life and how it connects to the end of my life. By the end, what do I hope to have expressed as my true soul's calling? My soul's calling. What is it? Do you feel that joy in the expression that you're bringing into the world? And even if you love what you do, as I love what I do, it's not without its challenges or its complications at times. But if we can keep the vision of why we're doing it, that we serve the infinite. I know that I'm always in service to the God within me and the God within all. Some days it shows up a little more gracefully as others, depending on what's going on, I think. Or what I need to bring to the equation looks different. Some days I bring this, some days I bring that. Again, it's just almost like cooking a meal. Here I go again. I think we're going to flash lasagna. But like if you're making lasagna, you got to get the right noodles. You can't make it with ziti, or you have baked ziti with ricotta, which is still really good. That's a shout out to Christy and Jane, who are in Italia right now, joining us. And they have this image of the door, the shutters of the window thrown open. And I can just imagine the smell of that. It's like, what do you want to smell? What do you want to cook? What do you want to eat? Our thoughts are like that too. When we digest thoughts, what do we read? What do we take in? What do we digest in our consciousness that makes us maybe sick, makes us want to get that out? You know, just taking a mental fast, being choiceful of what we ingest through our mouth, through our ears, through our eyes, through our senses, all of them. Making sure that it serves this beautiful garden of inner peace. You know, sometimes we watch things that are upsetting, and it's good to know that there are things like this happening. It's good to be informed, but we don't need to be over-informed. We can take that into meditation and be guided to get the wisdom behind what is happening here. You can get more information in the silence and meditation. If you read excellent books with just a line or two, maybe meditate on a line or two and allow it to assimilate like a delicious meal. Allow our bodies to, and our consciousness to digest that and nourish ourselves and bring forth something beautiful that we can help neutralize maybe a complicated situation. One of the things that I love most is that there was that saying, change your world, change your thinking, change your life, but also be the change you wish to see in the world. And I would suggest, I would say it this way, be the peace you wish to see in the world. Be the peace you wish to be in the world, to wish to see in the world. Bring forth that peace. And it is easier sometimes than others. It's definitely true. But the more we practice responding with peace, and realize like too, if you're trying to be peaceful, but you realize you don't feel peaceful underneath that's still on the right track. Spend more time in meditation and you'll find it's easier to bring forth peace because we're making deposits in the bank account of consciousness. When we meditate, turning off all of our energy, all of the senses, bringing all of that energy and making a deposit in our bank of love, our well of peace. It's easier to draw from it and pay attention with peace when we have something in that bank account of peace. So if our life feels out of balance, spend more time meditating. And I'll say this too, meditation doesn't always feel like the thing you want to do at the time. And sometimes I even still, it's been 30 some years for me. And every once in a while, I feel like it's the last thing I want to do is just sit. And as soon as I do it, and as soon as I close my eyes, I feel that peace just come over me. So it's like, I don't know why sometimes it takes so long. You have to get past all of these other thoughts. I was trying to find a really great, here it is. Before the storm breaks, the dust rises violently for the last time. This reminds me of meditation sometimes. The ego tries to throw up every thought and every reason why you don't have time, or do something else. You'll feel better. Take a walk, watch TV, scroll your Facebook feed again. What's the news saying about blah, 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 blah. Before the storm breaks, the dust rises violently for the last time. The dust that is soon to be laid forever. That dust that is soon to be laid forever, those swirling thoughts that try to distract, will be laid forever by the rain of calm, the rain of peace that comes over us, that peace that passeth understanding. Just rain that peace and brings it into our souls. It just lays those dust thoughts, that dust swirly, down into the ground forever. And those thoughts go to become something else, to nourish us in different ways. So the greatest way to world peace is the personal cultivation of inner peace by individuals in all lands. As taught in the science of yoga, daily meditation on the divine source of peace, it is the most effective way to achieving this. Please contribute to worldwide peace by your own meditation practice every day and by reflecting on the words of the infinite. Realization, divine realization, practicing that peace. It is the individuals, each one of us practicing our own peace. There's nothing in the world can make us happy for a sustained period of time, and no one either. To try to seek happiness, lasting happiness in temporary things is a great, I'm talking like an old time 1800s, is a great folly for people of our time in our world. And everything in the world tries to market to us that we can purchase peace. We cannot purchase peace, but we can cultivate it because we already hold that pearl, that divine pearl of peace within our soul, and that pearl of wisdom. So practice peace through meditation or whatever brings you divine joy, and know that you were born with this well of the infinite source bubbling up within. It is yours. You already possess it. Just uncover it and bring it forth at will. And you will be a divine blessing to yourself and to all who cross your path. Yeah. Love is the most powerful force in the universe, and that's the world that goes on and on and on. So invest in that love and that peace and that poise. There's a beautiful song called If All the World.
If all the world is full of thorns, the lover's heart would be a bed of roses. Even if the sphere of stars stops turning, the world of lovers keeps going on. Everybody gets sad sometime, but the lover's soul keeps a tender smile. Give the lover an unlit candle, and she'll awaken with her own light. lover's heart keeps a tender smile. Give the lover an ardent candle, and he'll awaken it with his own light. If all the world is full of thorns, the lover's heart would be a bed of roses. Even if the sphere of stars stops turning, the world of lovers keeps going on.
Beautiful. And let us pray. In the words of the Dalai Lama, as you breathe in, cherish yourself. And as you breathe out, cherish all beings. O infinite divine beloved, may we be that presence of peace, perfect poise. In the face of challenge, may we be a calming presence, bringing forth that inner beauty. Help us to cultivate divine love beyond understanding. May our response always be love, 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 that we may bring into balance divine harmony and a symphony of soul, as Erika and I say. May our lives be instruments of peace, instruments of joy, in our thoughts, speech, and actions, today and all days. Om Shanti, peace. Amen. Thank you for joining us this morning, and remind you that at 11 o'clock Eastern, you may register for the link to get you into the SoulCall Sunday Rewind, where we talk about the talk and catch up with each other. You can meet some members of your community around the globe at 11 o'clock. So you have to register for the rewind so you can get into the Zoom. But from 11 to 11:30 Eastern, we are so happy to meet and greet virtually as we can do it this time, and every Sunday following the talk. And I want to remind you again on Monday, Meditation Mondays. It doesn't feel right if I don't sing. It's just a meditation Monday, because that's what's going on in the back of my mind. From 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern, we meditate in the silence. We'll chant a little bit, do some opening prayers, and then we get a good deep meditation in, and a healing prayer where we send out healing vibrations to those who have asked for our prayers. Donations are welcomed, but not required. Your presence is exactly what we require the most. It's like that's how we change the world. One person at a time, one presence at a time. So join us Meditation Mondays. And again, on Sundays at 8:15 a.m., also a free offering where donations are greatly appreciated is Yoga with Natalia, 8:15. You've got to pre-register for that class also. Information is at soulcallglobal.org. And this morning was our kickoff, and it was an amazing, fantastic practice. I think there were 17 people in the room with us this morning from all over the place. So partake of that. Look for some offerings coming up in September. We ask you to join our newsletter, sign up for our newsletter if you haven't done so already, but also to mark your calendars, please, for Sunday, September 12th. We secured the park in Upper Arlington again. We're going to have an outdoor SoulCall Sunday Fun Day, just to meet and greet our community, and you'll be updated on the status of SoulCall and what's going to be coming forth as we move into autumn and winter. So that's Sunday, September 12th, SoulCall Sunday Fun Day. And we'll be out there starting at 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. And so more information on that. And let's see. I know that it's not up yet on the website, but Reverend Christy Hardwick is going to be doing another session, starting another session of Writing as a Path to Awakening. That's also more information will be coming up next week at soulcallglobal.org. And if you're in need of prayer, our prayer team has teamed with our healing team. And I'm so grateful for Jean and Candy for spearheading this confluence of opportunity to help those who are in need of prayer. It's prayers at soulcallglobal.org. Send us your prayer request. And if you would like some remote healing, our two teams are communicating with each other to know if you would like to have Reiki sent. And if you would like ongoing Reiki, you can contact Candy directly. There'll be information about that after you send your prayer request in. So we are here for you. And if you want to become a member of Soul Squad, we ask you to like us and share us on Facebook and Instagram. Join our YouTube page, but join the Soul Squad. There's the Soul Squad on Facebook. And we're going to be starting a whole new series of programs coming through the Soul Squad. And you can find out how to start a Soul Squad pod in your area so that you can do the things that we're starting locally. We're growing it out in a couple different cities. So if you would like more information on that, info at soulcallglobal.org. Info at soulcallglobal.org. And I believe that is it for our announcements this morning. Donations, no amount is too great or too small. We thank you for your generous contributions to SoulCall Global. It helps us keep our work going. We are consciously looking for our home, our permanent home, to start contemplation, meditation, creativity practices. So we are providing services to our communities. We're starting our launch actually to the back to school program to supplement children going back to school with gift cards so they can get the things they actually need, whether it be clothing. We're going to have books and pencils and things like this, but also supplemental programs. So please give generously. We were able to help dozens of families last year, and we're looking to double that this year as we move into some of the things that we have coming up for fundraisers at the end of the year. But right now, no amount is too great or too small. And we really thank you when we count on your contributions to keep us going. So contributing to the consciousness of the planet through your practices and through our conscious connections with each other on Soul Call Sunday and throughout. Wake Up with the Consciousness Cafe on Wednesday. We've got a very special guest, photographer Carl Studna is going to join me talking about his decades-long extraordinary career as a photographer. He's photographed just about any popular person you can think of, and also has done a lot of work with National Geographic, and he's a beautiful soul. I love him so dearly. But Carl Studna joins me on Wednesday, 7 a.m. for Wake Up with the Consciousness Cafe. So that's a lot, and it's not so much. It's what a community does. We come together in service like this. So we thank you for joining us this morning. Carry your peace light, carry your joy, join us for these opportunities. And remember always, wherever you are and whatever is going on, you are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love, one